standard sound good advice in the self-help world is you have to take action. Without taking action, watching the content is useless. Alex Hormozy says it and then everybody parrots it. But I would differ respectfully. If you look at Alex's life as he says it, there is a period in his life where he was an entrepreneur, where he did not do any action. He still did the same job as before, lived at the same place as before. All he did was consume self-help books. And he dismisses that area of his life as useless, as his entrepreneurial traits. Why? Because he was just consuming and not taking any action. Now he dismisses it as useless, and so we all do, but there is no proof saying that that area in his life was useless or not. What I'm trying to say here is I don't think that period of his life or that period of inaction in anybody's life is useless. And what I just said there was that you can sit there and consume as much content as you want and it is not bad for you. Being a entrepreneur is not bad for you. It is gonna sound like that, but I don't 100% mean that. I'll have to put some nuance, I have to explain this. Sure, if all you do is watch content, consume as much content as possible and not take any action, long term it is pretty bad. But I don't think that in this self-help space only consume actually exists. This archetype of a person who just watches self-help videos, just consumes, I don't think this thing exists. When you hear a lot of these successful entrepreneurs, businessmen, so many successful people telling you to take action, if every single bit of content that you see on the online space is telling you take action, I think you eventually will. I think everybody eventually does. Because every piece of content that you are consuming, without you realizing, it is actually influencing your behaviors and bringing change inside your mind. You are the average of the top 5 content that you consume, top 5 podcasts that you listen to. And I keep repeating this in multiple videos because this has changed my life in so many different ways. I say that changing the type of content that you consume is the first step in getting out of a rut. And it's true, because if you change the type of content that you're consuming, there's changes inside your mind, inside your mindset, inside your beliefs. I know it sounds woo-woo and stuff, but I can't help it. This is true. If you listen to successful people tell you to take action so many times on YouTube, so many times as you're consuming the content, I don't think that you are just going to sit there and not. I think eventually, as long as that taking action advice is one of the top 5 most consumed content, you will take action. Eventually, you will take action. Everybody does. By the way, let me also get this clear. I'm not trying to prove how unimportant taking action is. Taking action is still very important. What I'm trying to say here is it is also just as important to not give yourself this anxiety over taking action. When you feel this guilt after the self-help YouTuber tells you to take action because if you're not taking action, consuming that stuff is useless. When you feel this guilt, you feel this anxiety inside you, feel this sort of, I don't want to be an entrepreneur, but my situation tells me that I am kind of a situation. So you basically feel stressed, you feel anxious, right? And this anxiety leads you to consuming more content because you want to numb the pain. Thing is, if these self-help YouTubers continuously tell you that, oh yeah, you're not doing good, you're not doing good, you're not doing good, maybe they are right, but they're going to make you feel even more anxious, and then eventually you're just going to revert back to watching Mr. Beast videos because they don't guilt trip you for not taking action. See, my point here is very difficult to explain this because there is just so much nuance to it. But my final point, let me just do a little TLDR. You should not sacrifice taking action, just consume more content. But at the same time, you should not feel the guilt of not taking action when you aren't. Just know that if you can keep consuming the right type of content, eventually you will take action.